Hey you guys, my name is Jasmine and I'm the founder of Black Rose Gardens. Today I'll be able to share with you one of my favorite things to do in the fall, and that's plant flower bulbs. So in collaboration with flowerbulbs.com, not only I'm going to share with you how you can add them to your garden, but I'm going to show you how I plan to incorporate them in my garden as well. So if you're interested in a fun, easy, and affordable way to add flowers to your garden, stay tuned. Okay, so let's get into it. Flower bulbs are going to be these ribosome or bulb-like type of roots that stores the plant's DNA and energy. So the life cycle basically looks like when it's time, the flower shoots up foliage and blooms, it photosynthesizes, get the energy it needs, returns back to dormancy. Why bulbs? Bulbs are super beautiful. So when we say flower bulbs, we're talking about the tulips, we're talking about daffodil, iris, lilies. These beautiful flowers add such an expert level of beauty to your garden, and they're super beginner friendly. So why not? Also, they're really, really affordable. So if you purchase any type of tulips or lilies already blooming, more than likely you're going to pay 3 times as much. As well as when you purchase bulbs, you have the opportunity to get a better variety versus already blooming plants. And lastly, it's a pollinator haven. So basically, what happens is typically bulbs are the first thing to shoot up in the springtime. They are your signal to let you know, hey, spring is here. So it invite the pollinators in and let them know, and especially if you're like me and you have a food garden, it lets them know, hey, this is a haven. This is somewhere where you can chill out at. We have flower or we have pollen here, and that's great for your garden because you're going to need them later on when things start sprouting and fruiting. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to add roughly about 20 to 25 oriental lilies to my 4x6 elevated bed I have here. Um, they are oriental lilies. They're a variety of colors, so we'll be able to see how beautiful and this array of colors show up in the springtime. All right, you guys, so to start out with, what you're going to need is a trowel, my favorite trowel, your gloves, and some mulch. And lastly, a phosphate based fertilizer. Here I'm using bone meal. So here I have placed the bulbs roughly 6 inches apart. We are going to fit anywhere from 20 to 25 bulbs in a 4x6 raised elevated bed. So there's a few things you want to keep in mind. Based on the size of the bulb is what's going to be your determining factor in reference of how deep to plant the bulb and how far apart they should be spaced out. In this instance here, I'm going to roughly do 6 inches apart, 3 to 5 inches deep. Now it's time to get started. So what I'm going to do is grab a pinch of phosphate-based fertilizer and place it into the hole where I plan to actually plant the bulb. Now I'm using my hands because I have a really, really good gauge of how deep I'm planting, but if you're not sure, you can use your trowel. So I grabbed just a pinch of fertilizer, put it at the bottom. This fertilizer is going to encourage root development, and that's what's most important in the fall with these bulbs. I place the bulb top up, and that's going to be the pointy area, and lightly cover it. It is really, really this simple, you guys. So once you've planted all of your bulbs and added fertilizer, you're going to give it a really deep water. This watering is going to encourage root development, and that's really important to growth in the fall. After you give it a very deep watering, you want to apply mulch evenly across the entire bed. Now, this mulch is going to keep it warm during the fall, but also it's going to make sure that water that needs to stay in there stays. So, you guys, we came from this bed here filled with weeds, and we transform it to this amazing bed, completely mulched with the potential of being a great cut flower garden and pollinator heaven. I am so proud of this, you guys. It's super, super easy. You definitely should give it a try. It is really, really that simple, you guys. Like, oh my God. So here you can see this bed is completely mulched. and it's ready to bloom in the fall. I'm super excited and I can't wait to see what happens. So, if you want to learn more about flower bulbs and what works best in your area, in your garden, make sure you go to www.flowerbulbs.com to get some more information. If you have any questions for me, you can find me all over the internet at Black Girls with Gardens. Hopefully that was helpful, and happy planting.